Welcome to Wrestleheads. I'm Randy Dixon.
I'm Lamar Scott.
And if you can tell, we're one short today. I think he had the sniffles or something like that.
Yeah.
Get better, Chuck, and don't be driving a fucking truck today.
He's a truck driver.
So, I mean, to get through this, I guess you could say a somber week. I mean, first things first, the passing of WWE Hall of Famer Roddy Piper on Friday. I think it hit everybody. It hit the media. It hit. If you look across social media, if you look on the news, ESPN. I mean, that's when you know you're a made man. And with Piper getting all these tributes from people from all different walks of life, that lets you know he made it. And it's really sad that Piper died. It sounded like how they said he died of cardiac arrest in his sleep the night before Thursday night. So, I mean, you can take solace that he died peacefully, in his sleep. And, I mean, I just have nothing but good memories. I mean, I'm always going to remember that WrestleMania 12, that Hollywood Backlot Brawl with him and Goldust. And, I mean, he actually punching Dustin Rhodes in his damn head like that. And, I mean, you can think about the WrestleMania 8 between him and Bret the Hitman Hart for the Intercontinental title. Him versus the Mountie, the Royal Rumble. I mean, he did have a lot of classic matches. I mean, including the first WrestleMania with him and the racist Hogan and Mr. T.
Yep.
So I mean, you sit here and think about it. I mean, he didn't have a lot of classic memories. You have some memories of your own.
Well, he transcended. You know what I mean? He was that real rock and roll in wrestling. He was a part of that era. You know what I mean? A lot of people say, I'm going to take a quote from my dad, and, I don't take a lot of quotes from my dad, but my dad said Piper was just as much responsible for WrestleMania as Hulk Hogan and Vince. And a lot of people didn't give him that credit, but a lot of people showed up and tuned in to WrestleMania to watch Hogan kick Piper's ass. And that's just the way it was. You know what I mean? Piper, you know how we go back and forth we had before about wrestlers not selling events, like selling matches with the verbal promos before the matches come. Piper sold WrestleMania. He sold a little bit more than Hogan. He wanted to kill Piper. You know what I'm saying? Because really, low-key, the only true wrestler was in that match that actually had some real skills was Paul Orndorff. Piper was a big-time mouthpiece, and he really got it done. And I mean, the Rowdy one, he had some good matches. He wasn't the greatest wrestler, but he had some good matches with some good quality opponents because with Ric Flair in the NWA. And now you can look back, and I'm gonna say one of my favorite Piper matches wasn't even a WWE match. It was against Grady the Hammer Valentine, the Starcade, the first one, the dog collar match.
What was that, 83?
83.
Starcade.
Yeah, 83. The dog collar match. And I was they would think it was the U.S. It was the U.S. television top. It was for one of them.
I think it probably was the U.S.
Yeah, it was the U.S. television.
He did have that a couple times, I believe.
To me, that was the best Piper match I've seen. But yeah, R.I.P. Hot Rod. Gonna be missed. I'm also gonna miss you smashing that coconut over Snooker's head. I'm gonna also miss you shaving the midget's head in Piper's pit. I'm gonna miss all that, man. I'm gonna miss the big showdown for WrestleMania 3. Basically, was done at Piper's pit. I'm gonna miss all that, man.
I mean, a lot of things. That's when you transcended. When he wasn't even wrestling that much, and then he had that Piper's Pit show. Yeah. I mean, shit, you can go back to, what was that, WrestleMania, was it 5? I believe WrestleMania 5, where Morton Downey Jr.
Came
on there.
Yeah, and he sprayed him.
He sprayed him with the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Because he kept smoking in his face.
Uh-huh.
And, it's just a lot of good memories from Piper wrestling, Piper talking, Piper's Pit. I mean, over the years, even though Stone Cold hadn't kicked off his podcast, I mean, yeah, you got to live with that, Austin. You really got to live with that.
And he wasn't lying about what he said about Austin either. I mean, nobody said it over the years. And I mean, I'm going to say this. I grew up in a household that was a Judeo-Christian household. I almost lost my WWE privileges because of Stone Cold. You know what I mean? I almost did. You know what I mean? And, there's a lot of people that didn't like how he turned a Bible scripture into something for him to make money off of. And, Piper brought that out to the attention and said something about it finally, and Stone Cold got pissed about it. But what you getting pissed about something that was true?
I mean, with that being said, you go over through the annals of time and the memories. We got a lot to remember, and thank God for the WWE Network, where you can go for $9.99.
Yeah.
Go on there and look at the past matches. I mean, you sit here and think about it. I mean, the last time we seen Piper on the WWE was WrestleMania this past year when he was in the back and he congratulated Daniel Bryan for winning the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And I mean, just good little memories like that. And I mean, matter of fact, the last time I seen him was TMZ interviewed him this past Monday about the Hulk Hogan situation. And I mean, he was speaking up for Hogan. And I mean, that prompted Hogan to come out and say something. And I'm like, the only thing I was worried about with that is a scumbag like Hogan used that to come out of the shadows that he was pushed in because of his racist and sexist and all the comments he said, even though we're not going to make this about Hogan right now. But that's the only thing I was sitting there worried about with that. When I heard that Piper died, I'm like, oh God. And I mean, up in Wrestleheads on our page, I try to put a lot of videos, pictures, and stuff like that this week to commemorate, the life of Roddy Piper. I mean, because he was one of the favorites he transcended generations where pretty much a lot of generations know who Roddy Piper is.
Was one of the first wrestlers in movies.
Yeah.
Body Slam and
they live. I mean, they live that line. I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. You damn right.
Yep.
And I mean, you just think about it. I'm like, and it's sad. I mean, between him and Dusty Rhodes the last month, I mean, we losing legends.
Man, all the legends that
the good guy legends.
Yeah, and these are the legends that we grew up watching. See, some of you kids, if you're a kid, I don't know if you should be tuned into the show, but most of the kids out there, their legends are still alive because they're kids. For grown men like us, we grew up watching Piper and Rose and guys like that. So, these are guys that we watch every Saturday morning or every Thursday or whatever the case may be. We watched them.
Well, it was harder back in the days, back in the 80s and shit.
Oh shit, it was. Man.
I mean, y'all lucky for this
era.
This era where you got wrestling at your hands. We didn't have cell phones like that. I mean, shit. I remember when I was a kid,
our
damn car phone. It was like few and far between people had car phones in their damn car.
Shit.
I mean, that's just going back. We not gonna be like the History Channel right now. No. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you sit here and think about the life of Roddy Piper. I mean, he had a great life. He had, condolences. My condolences from WrestleHeads go out to his wife and his 4 kids. Because not too long ago, I was looking at a home show with my mom, and him and his wife were looking for a new house.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, man, that's cool to see. And you got to talk to Piper. You could tell he was about his family. I mean, he was with his same wife for over 30-some years.
Yeah.
I mean, they had 4 kids. His son was an MMA star training to be a professional wrestler.
With a broken hip. He had an artificial hip.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you said Piper was a man's man. I remember, this morning I was looking at one of those old promos, and when he busted a beer bottle over his head, and then he started bleeding. I mean, the dude was intense, and I mean, he can get the intensity across the screen.
What happened? Remember when he was fighting Bad News Brown, and he painted one half of himself black?
What was that? Was that WrestleMania 6?
Yeah. He made one half of himself black, and it was like he thought it was Piper, and then he turned around and up the blackface Piper. Oh, that was hilarious. Oh shit, man! Yeah. Piper was the man.
In this day and age, he might have been called a racist.
Oh, if he would have did that in this day and age, he would have been thrown off TV. They would have asked for WrestleMania to be canceled. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's too sensitive nowadays, man.
I mean, if you sit here, it's like this. You look in this day and era, it would have been harder for wrestlers like Piper and some of the other wrestlers to get over.
Yep.
Because, I mean, I just call it the pussification of this.
Oh, yeah.
Of society. But that's a subject for another day. But in closing with that, I just wanted to say R.I.P. Roddy Piper. I mean, I thank you for the memories. You was a larger-than-life character. And, I mean, I wish you would have been heavyweight champion. I mean, if they would have known when you have a villain, you have to let the villain win.
Yeah.
That's wrestling 101. If they know that where they know now, it's like the same thing with Cena. When they have Cena just go over so many people, I'm like, this is how you get people pushed forward because you have to put people over. And the sad thing is they didn't learn that then, and you was worthy of being the heavyweight champion. And I mean,
But that was in that era, man.
it was a great era. It was jam packed full of people. It probably off top 10 people should have been the heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Roddy Piper, you go be missed, and it just sad. To pass away at 61 years old.
Yeah.
He's still pretty young.
He was on Wife Swap. Like,
oh yeah,
Wife
exactly.
Swap
He did that too.
ago.
You know.
Yeah, man. Just watched him on there. It's
And,
like, God.
and that's sad. And I mean, we go transition from, talking about Roddy Piper to try to get back in our normal format of the show.
Yeah.
Because these last couple of weeks we've been kind of thrown off between Hulk Hogan coming out being a bigot racist, and then the death of Roddy Piper. We're gonna get back to to try to the bones of wrestling is talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
So let's start off and talk about Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was a crucial Raw. You had the main event, match of the night, match of the week. You could put it up there, the candidate match of the year. You got WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins going against big match John Cena, the U.S. Heavyweight Champion, and it didn't disappoint.
No.
I mean, you sit here and think about it like Charles was saying last week, talking about I don't give credit to John Cena or I turned on John Cena. It's not that I turned on John Cena. I mean, John Cena's a made man. And I mean, to me, not to sit here and bring up CM Punk, but I'm going to bring up CM Punk for a second. To me, that's when his game got risen back up. When you could see John Cena can put on 5-star matches is when he had a perfect dance partner in CM Punk. And John Cena, I mean, I'm going out on a limb, but I can honestly say it. To me, he should be Wrestler of the Year for the work that he's, and this is August the 2nd, for the work that he has been putting in this year, just alone with that damn U.S. Tournament, U.S. Invitational, United States Championship Invitational. I mean, damn, he's been putting in some great damn work. And I mean, the match he won, I don't agree with him tapping out the champion. That's crap. But with him still with a broken freaking nose, and he still was going at it, blood dripping and every damn thing. They stopped the match here and there, and he's showing the kind of stud that he is. I mean, you gotta give John Cena a whole lot of fucking credit.
It's like,
and I mean, man, I don't want him to pass Nature's record, but I mean, damn,
no way.
That dude, he's been busting his ass this year, and I mean, John Cena, I salute you. You the man with that.
Well,
you got any words?
Well, I'm gonna say this. It's like they say in show business. The show must go on. With a broken freaking nose, he finished the show. You know what I mean? In that match, you're right. That match was not only it was match of the night on Raw, it was match of the week. It could pretty sure have been match of the month. It's a candidate for match of the year because it had everything you wanted. It had the psychology, it had the physicality, it had the wrestling, it had everything, the storytelling, it had it all on Raw. And that was a pay-per-view type match on Raw. You know what I mean? Now, I don't agree with the tap-out thing, man. Like, come on, dude. We said this with Kevin Owens the last week, or the week before with him tapping out. It's like, come on, to that move is a piece of shit move. But at the same time, the match was good. The match was not only good, the match was great. And he did it with a broken nose, and he could hardly breathe. He was breathing out of his mouth. And they already had been in the match a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So at the end of that match, you gotta imagine, his nose is broke, and he's trying to breathe out of his mouth, and he's finishing the match. And there was no drop-off within the match after he broke his nose. You know what I mean? He still continued to keep the same pace. You know what I mean? You gotta give it up to Johnny. You know what I mean? Well deserved. You know? And I
mean, you sit here and think about, shouts out to WWE Champion Seth Rollins. Because, I feel like they started giving more of a shit back. Because,
nobody's helping him now. He's out by himself.
It's not only that. You see where this shit's going, where eventually it's going to be collision course with him versus an authority, Seth Rollins, or him versus Triple H, or however the hell they're going to
I think it's him, Triple H, they're trying to point towards.
At the end of the day, Seth Rollins, he's a stud out there. And I hate that. And I just said it on other shows, like, how they doing this fucking WWE title run. And I'm like, you doing it where you handicapping his ass, where he ain't going to be able to get another fucking shot at the belt. Because I'm like, you playing this dude, instead of giving him like a Edge. You know, when Edge was champion, you make him a scumbag champion, but make him look strong. You know, it's nice that he can go out there and do 5-star matches. We know that about Seth Rollins. This is the part when you become a champion is the character development part of it. You know, where you're showing your character, you're showing your strength, you're showing that you're the fucking man, and they're not letting him do that. And I'm like, it's one thing I don't have a problem with him losing to Cena. Yeah. It's the matter. Yeah. It's the matter you have him tapping like a damn drum man. Yeah. It's the same thing. If you look at Kevin Owens right now, people trying to say it done killed his momentum too. It's like he don't have that momentum push like he was. And see, this is why I said that John Cena should have lost the title. Now that he got a broken nose now, and he had to have corrective surgery the other day, what was that, Thursday? Yeah. He had to have emergency surgery because he couldn't breathe. Even though they tried to put it back in place, it was still something wrong, which might jeopardize that match at SummerSlam. Which it might be a good thing, because, I mean, I wasn't looking forward to that match. I mean, honestly. Because, I mean, you think about it. It's like they're giving away their best matches on Raw. And it's like, how can you get better than that? It's just like if you look at it, Cena versus, they had a trilogy, Cena versus Owens. Yeah. The first match was the best one. And then the second match was the second best. And the third match was the third best. I mean, you sit here and think about it. I mean, you have that. That's what happened on Raw. And then also another point on Raw, I didn't see no Brock Lesnar or Undertaker.
No, Brock is going to be there this week.
No, I'm just talking about that one. I know he's going to be here this Monday.
Yeah,
But how in the hell that you have that hype machine, you do all that, and then nobody shows up the next week?
And that's my problem.
But Chuck will let you tell it like, oh man, that match is main event. That's not a main event. You have to further the storyline. Somebody has to be there. I don't give a damn. But the Undertaker, I'm like, you've been sitting your ass at home for the last 6 years. You can get your ass up and be there at a fucking Raw to sit there and push the storyline. See, this is why I don't like the Undertaker being a part of the main event, because he don't have the commitment as he used to. He's been on this easy schedule for like the last 6 years.
Well, Brock won't have the commitment either, and see, and that's the thing.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Somebody has to be there.
You're right. Somebody does have to be there, and that's why then I agree with you. We're in the same agreements about this Undertaker. Brock Lesnar thing. I don't like it.
It's bullshit.
You know what I mean? I don't believe it should even be a match. It's waited a year and over a year and a half,
almost 17 months.
Yeah, and then I want my revenge. I want my revenge. You would soak me better if you said you wanted revenge for him fucking Kana. You know what I mean? I would have bought that. I would have bought that.
I would have bought that.
You know what I'm saying?
Coming back to help out my little brother.
Yeah, you broke my little brother's leg. I'm gonna break yours. I mean, I would have bought that. You're gonna sell me on you kicked my ass in a match that really, besides with the streak being lost, the match was below average. The match sucked. Let me just say that. Taker, the match sucked.
Match was in the fucking shit.
It was in the shit house. That match sucked. So you want to come back and get revenge on the sorry-ass match from the get-go. I mean, if we seen it once and it was a piece of shit, what makes you think it's going to be even better now? I mean, that's why I don't get where they're creative or what the WWE is fucking doing.
See, the WWE would never bring this up because they got a rule about not bringing up the past or anything like that. But I believe Brock Lesnar's like 3-0 in big matches versus The Undertaker. Yeah. 3-0. 3-0. So, if he couldn't beat Brock Lesnar when Brock Lesnar was in his fucking 20s.
Yeah. When you think gonna beat him now?
You think at damn near 50 years old, he's just gonna fucking get some super saiyan strength and fucking kick Brock Lesnar's ass? It ain't gonna happen. So, wrapping up Raw, that was pretty much Raw in the main part of Raw in a nutshell. You know, try to interject new little things because this Tough Enough stuff is getting kind of big now. Because, I mean, you had fucking racist Hulk Hogan that was a host on there, which he got fired off of that. And then The Miz took over of being host on WWE Tough Enough. So, and then this week, the WWE tried to set up ZZ. That's the big alligator wrestling Louisianian. I guess Louisiana.
Yeah, I think he's from Louisiana. Yeah, he's from the Bayou.
No, I'm saying, how do you say that? Louisiana?
I don't know. He wrestled Gators. Gator Boy. That's what I call him, Gator Boy.
They set it up for him to get sent to the shit house, but the fans twisted it on him, and then, they put him out in there. So what happened with that?
Yeah, one of the funniest things, because we came here a couple weeks ago, and I had a problem with Patrick being eliminated. and I had a problem with it because it was a problem that I should have had with it because Patrick led the competition. I've been watching Tough Enough since the beginning of the show started. Since this season started. I've been watching it since the season started. And basically, the two workhorses for the males has been Tanner and Patrick. Tanner led the first two challenges. Patrick's won the rest after that. Then all of a sudden, Tanner gets put in the bottom three. He survives, and Patrick gets put in the bottom three, and he doesn't. So this week, now the Miz. Let me point out, the Miz had a problem with Patrick being eliminated, and he said it on Tough Talk.
Hell, he was vocal about it on the show when everything was going down.
Yeah,
he was real. The Miz was real vocal about it, and I mean, if anybody that got a right to say something is the Miz, as he done went through everything that they done went through.
Yep, and didn't win it and should have won it. You know what I'm saying? So he spoke up, and I'm a fan of Paige, but this is her fucking analogy. Oh, well, yeah, but he didn't show like he was humble, and the WWE fans didn't think he was good enough. Okay, flipped it around. Mata, Hogan, that piece of shit, after Mata does good in one competition, you're on fire, big man. But Patrick didn't get, or Tanner didn't get their on fire when they basically been fucking the competition up, right? But you don't hear them getting, oh, you're on fire.
No praise.
But yeah, no praise. But you're gonna praise Mata for one good showing when he looks like a piece of crap? Same thing with Josh or whatever his name is, the Yeti. He sucks too. Yeah. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. So Mata gets put in the bottom three, and I believe the Miz put him in the bottom three on purpose. He puts Mata in the bottom three. The fans, the WWE Universe eliminates him, and Paige, oh, you made a mistake. Mata. Is she fucking Mata? I don't know. But all I know is the then they tried to switch it around on ZZ. He don't deserve to be here. He's eating 3 burritos. He's not doing a diet. He's walking around with his fake workouts, and I'm throwing up. Man, Mata, hey, take it on the chin, big fella. You're on fire. You're on fire sitting at home watching the show for the rest of the show, on fire being mad because you got eliminated. So quit trying to down ZZ, because Patrick didn't down your sorry ass when he got eliminated. He took it like a man. He got eliminated and he didn't have nothing bad to say. But your old punk ass Mata, what you do when you get eliminated, you try to down another guy. When Patrick could have downed you when he got eliminated because you're a piece of shit. You suck. As long as Josh, if you guys watch this show, you guys suck. You know what I mean? Tough Enough is a piece of shit show, and I'm saying I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna hold my tongue on it no more. I don't even watch it anymore. After Patrick got eliminated, I'm like, what the fuck for? I mean, you eliminated Patrick. You know what I mean? Even though Mata got eliminated, which Mata sucks, Josh should have been eliminated. But you're gonna keep guys around just because they're size, because Vince likes them, because they're big. I mean, that show's a piece of shit. It's not legit because the legit guys ain't gonna win. And now if Tanner wins, I'm proven wrong because Tanner's legit. Patrick was legit. Everybody on that show is just a big lump of coal. ZZ included. He just has an infectious personality. It's the reason why they're keeping him, because he sucks. You know what I'm saying? He can't wipe it. He doesn't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. You know what I'm saying? These cats don't know shit about wrestling. You know what I mean? But you keep them on the show. Fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. I just had to say it, man. Fuck Tough Enough. I put it in a post on Wrestling Heads after Patrick got eliminated. If you're real wrestling fans out there, boycott that fucking show, because Mick Foley said it. Miz, who's on the show, said it. It's full of shit. And that's just being honest. You should have seen the look on Daniel Bryan's face when Patrick got eliminated. He looked at Paige and Hogan like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
But see,
you know what I mean?
But see, didn't Daniel Bryan have a save?
Yeah, but he thought it was gonna be ZZ.
But see, that's why I said, like with Daniel Bryan's, I didn't brought it up. He got that kind of bitch mentality. If he was a fucking man's man, he would have stopped it. You stop it at the pass. You don't even let it get that far. If you know that kid got the goods, and he should understand that shit for being a fucking independent wrestler for how many years he had, and see somebody that's on the come up and see how it's slated for him to get eliminated, Daniel Bryan should have been a man and fucking stopped that shit. But see, that's what happened when he's soft.
But see, here's the thing about the save. When they ask you, are you going to save somebody, if you say, yeah, you're going to use your save, that means it doesn't matter who gets eliminated, you use your save. See, Daniel Bryan thought ZZ was finna get eliminated, so no, he didn't want to use his save. Because why use your save on ZZ? He didn't know Patrick was gonna be eliminated. He thought Patrick was good. Now, if they had changed the little format saying that you can pick who you use your save on, I bet he would have used it on Patrick. But he looked at him because he thought ZZ was gonna get eliminated. And when he didn't use his save because he didn't want to use it for ZZ, he thought if ZZ would have got eliminated, it would have been like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? But at the same time, with him not using the save, Patrick got eliminated. And it was just a hook got thrown in the plan. And you're right, though. He should have spoke up more. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing I was looking for Daniel Bryan to do. It's like when Paige had nominated him, because Hogan's old racist punk ass, and hey, you racist. You know what I mean? Because he was like, oh, if you were going to do it, I was. If I was Daniel Bryan, I would have stopped all that right there. But enough with that piece of shit ass show. I'm sorry, WWE, if you didn't drop the ball on that shit. Chris Jericho, you sound like a game show host, and shit sucks.
I told you.
Yeah,
I see, that's like Jericho. He sounds like that. That's why that fucking show that he had, it didn't work.
Hey, Jericho.
That's why he went back to Stone Cold.
Hey, Jericho, quit taking Botox too. You know what I mean? That shit's killing your whole look. You know what I mean? Shit, we know you old, dude. You ain't trying to look like you in your 20s still.
You gotta remember,
his face don't move.
You gotta remember, he's still trying to be a rocker.
His face don't move.
He's trying to be
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know he's trying to live that rocker lifestyle. His face don't move. He be talking and like laughing and shit don't move.
But
that Botox.
But to wrap up the tough enough part of the show, where the WWE, if you notice this week, the WWE tried to set up ZZ to get eliminated.
Yeah.
They put out the Billy Gunn talking shit to him videos. And they didn't let out little tidbits. They trying to stir the pot.
Get the crowd to, he sucks.
They're trying to, what's that like in the court case, jury tampering? They sit there trying to sway their minds.
Well, they messed up with this crowd response.
And it didn't work. The universe caught them and called bullshit on them. And they like, okay, here, you like that dude? Let's get rid of that dude. But then they said, at the end of the day, Vince McMahon liked that dude, Josh. That's like one of his favorites. So, I mean, that should show you Vince still out of touch with a lot of shit.
Out of touch. Big time.
So, to wrap up the tough enough part of the show, let's talk about some NXT.
Yeah.
I mean, you had this week, you had Cass and Enzo, come out with their normalist, bombastic selves. Sit there and had them the job, just some new little crew. I mean, I'm just hoping they have them doing this because they're finna come up to the main roster. Because I mean,
they've been on dark matches.
Yeah, they've been doing the dark matches for Smackdown and stuff like that. I'm like, it's time. The WWE Universe will get behind them. It's time to bring up another tag team. Because, I mean, the only team that you brought up was the Ascension.
Yep.
And then you pretty much shitted on them because that was a Triple H call. And Vince McMahon did that shit on purpose. Just say, see, they can't get over. I mean, and Vince, you need to think about some shit. Like, you starting to get out of touch. You're almost hitting 70, fella. Maybe it might be time for the retirement.
Yeah, just retire.
Just step back. Let Steph and fucking Game fucking run the show.
Yeah.
So, and then, what else happened on
Samoa Joe beat a hammer nigger.
English hammer nigger.
Yeah. Besides that was about it. They really didn't have too much going on.
Because it's a slow week. Because basically, probably in the next couple of weeks, they're gonna be trying to ramp it up to get to the NXT Takeover Brooklyn or Brooklyn Takeover, where for the WWE, to me that's gonna be a difficult thing because you run the two events out of the same arena in 2 nights, the NXT and then next is SummerSlam. I mean they gonna be pushing. They going for something big.
Yeah.
Because SummerSlam. SummerSlam is gonna be 4 hours this year. So I mean, with that being said, they got some large ass plans for SummerSlam. I hope they execute them. I mean, they're not starting off correctly with that Undertaker shit. Yeah, I'll take another shot.
Yeah.
Anyway, next, Lucha Underground. I mean, this was the part 1
Ultimate Lucha.
The Ultima Lucha. I mean,
Ultimate Lucha.
You had the Mac versus Cage.
Yeah.
I mean, which we all have said those are some of the favorites on this show. I mean, you got the Mac. I mean, he ain't got the best body in the world, but that big bastard can work. And then you got Cage, who has the body, and surprisingly, for being juiced up, the guy can fucking work.
Oh, he can work and he can fly. He can see Cage he has a power. He's a big man. He's like a power wrestler, but he can fly. He can do all the stuff that the luchadors can do. And that match was out. That led off Ultimate Lucha. What a match to start it off.
It was like a street fight.
Yeah,
basically.
It was a false count anywhere. What a match to start. Basically, yeah, you're right. What a match to start it off. You know what I mean? To have Cage and the Mac go at it, and it was good. Yeah. And it was a good match.
Surprisingly, I was surprised at that.
Yeah, it was a good match. And, you know, Cage went over, but the Mac still looked good. You know, the Mac still looked good, man. And then we had new trio champions. New trio champions. The team of Son of Havoc, Eva Lise and Angelico. No more. They have dropped the titles to the Goonface Ghost Killers, whatever their names are. You know what I mean? Those cats that got back. I don't know.
The ones that work for the chicken muettes.
Yeah. You know what I mean? The Goonface Ghost Killers. That's what I call them. They came in here and they ran roughshod. It was a good match too. And then we had Drago versus Hernandez. Drago beat Hernandez. Okay, that's all I'm giving for Hernandez. But Drago.
Oh, you talking about Mr. trying to be Mr. Lucha Underground, Mr. TNA?
Oh yeah,
he ended up bringing down TNA, where MVP he said he left, but they said that, you know, they fired him because of the comments, and it's TNA shuffling, but it's all, the root of the problem is Mr. Hernandez. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, congratulate yourself. You didn't cost probably one of your friends a job who spoke up for you to come back to TNA. Good job, Hernandez, you dumb bastard.
Dick.
So, and that'll be setting up to next week to the Ultimate Lucha
2 hours.
It's going to be 2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours.
It's 2 hours. You're going to have the title on the line with Mil Muertes versus Prince Puma. You're going to have the Canadian Cholo Vampiro against Pentagon Jr.
Canadian Cholo.
Because he's a Canadian. He be trying to act like he's straight Cholo, man. It's a Canadian Cholo Vampiro. It's going to be going one-on-one against Pentagon, what was it, Ian? He's going to be going against Pentagon Jr.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Start bringing out the real name.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Prince Puma versus Mil Muertes. Then you have the card is endless.
Del Rio versus
Del Rio versus Mundos. Man,
I hope it's better than the first one. I was really let down.
Well, that match was only like 10 minutes. It was within that hour show. This is going to be 2 hours of Ultimate Lucha.
I hope they bring, because this is their season finale.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm looking forward to the matches, and let's see what Lucha Underground got. You know, go out on fucking top.
Go out on top, man.
And shit, the transition from that.
Tune in to Ultimate Lucha next week on the El Rey Network. You will not be disappointed.
Let's
Lucha
get into
Underground,
some
baby.
TNA Impact Wrestling. This week culminated. This was you had EC3 and the return of Jeff Hardy sitting there talking smack, talking about his brother, which we know Matt Hardy ain't gonna win the belt. I mean, you know, it's a nice little novelty thought, but no, version 1 ain't gonna win it. So after you get through that crap, I mean, then they set it up between Austin Aries and Rockstar Spud, and we all know Rockstar Spud will end up beating Austin Aries because Austin Aries already left, because this is all taped ahead of time. And the sad thing is, I don't know how people say with a straight face that Austin Aries could beat Rockstar Spud could beat Austin Aries, but nonetheless it happened, and that will be next week. So the creme de la creme of TNA today was them putting in, Wednesday was them putting in Jeff Jarrett into the TNA Hall of Fame. So you had good old Double J come out there, forgetting everybody's names.
Oh man,
no speech. He should have read from a speech. I mean, damn, they could have went and got a cheap podium from the back and put it right there. I mean, to make it look a little more legit.
What'd you say? One of the worst?
Yeah, it was one of the worst Hall of Fame speeches I ever heard, and that's for somebody that grew up in this business. I mean, you should. That's what happens when you don't respect it like that. Mm-hmm. I bet you if the WWE would have put him on any Hall of Fame stage, yeah, he would have came with a way better fucking speech.
But you know, TNA's a third class organization. My thing is this,
and he out there thanking Dixie. It's like, how in your mind? I mean, not to take it away. I'm gonna let you finish. How can you sit out there? This was 2 egregious things that I seen in that. One, him thanking Dixie, the woman that pushed him out of the company that he founded. He's sitting there thanking her like that. I mean, you could give her a modest thank you, you know, like, yeah, good job, Dixie. And the second thing was Kurt Angle on the stage clapping for him. I'm like, Kurt Angle, you know that other lady other than Dixie down in the ring? Oh yeah, she used to be your wife. And when she was your wife, in 2008, 2009, Jeff Jarrett was sleeping with your wife, and she was your wife, and y'all was in a married relationship, and you sitting out there clapping for the man that not only you worked for at the time, and he was sitting there, and I mean, you know, I could say like Tyrone, he's straight giving your wife the LD.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you sit here.
But you can see that look on his face.
I don't care. I don't care. I would have sat there and said, it ain't no chance in hell
I'm coming out there.
that I'm coming out there clapping for that son of a bitch. And he was sitting there nailing my wife.
Yeah.
At the time. Mm-hmm. It don't matter if you have problems or not. It's egregious things for one.
Co-workers.
Not even co-workers. Boss. Worker.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big ass gap between boss and worker. That you brought Kurt Angle to TNA, which he brought his wife, and you sitting there eyeing his wife down, and then you like, hey, next thing you know, some time passed, your wife dies, and you like, man, I'm gonna LD his wife.
Yeah, I got to.
Next thing you know, it don't matter who started it. It could have been Karen, either or. Y'all end up coming together in 2009. It was reported June 2009 that it got reported on the Bubba the Love Sponge show. That bastard. That, but shit, you know, he could have. Bubba probably reported the story because he could understand. Because Hogan was LDing his wife on that tape.
Man. So
I guess that's why he put it on there. Wow. So nonetheless, you get with that. That was my problem with the Hall of Fame. So you can talk about the Hall of Fame.
And well, one thing about the Dixie Jeff Jarrett thing, I learned something about that with that Hall of Fame speech. When I was listening to him talk, turns out when Dixie or whatever the case, he knows Dixie from way back when, because he led into when he was in Dallas. You know what I mean? He lived next door to Dixie. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he met the Carters. And then he actually, when TNA needed help financially, he went to, because Dixie was his friend, he went to Dixie and she went to her daddy. And that's how she got into the company.
They're fucking, the Panda Energy,
yeah.
The parent, they billionaires.
He lived next door to her. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was college, whatever. He was wrestling because she asked him, because he was like, what do you do for a living?
He probably gave her
the
LD
like,
too.
Yeah, he was like, I'm a professional wrestler. This is when he was down there working in the USWA and stuff like that.
He probably gave her the LD too. That's how he got the relationship. You start seeing how Jeff Jarrett works.
Yeah, you know,
he probably nailing broads left and right, probably on his dead wife. You know, horrible bastard.
In Jeff Jarrett, I haven't really decided if he's going to be my kitchen bitch or what's going to come out of these news and notes with Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? But I think
it's a part of mine. So,
but he's going to be a part of yours. Yeah, but I believe he might be mine for that Hall of Fame speech. And the reason why I'm saying this, because how do you forget AJ Styles? I mean,
a fan had to sit there and tell you.
Yes.
AJ Styles.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I said AJ.
No, you didn't. You know what I mean? Like,
you forget we in a modern age of tape where we can replay stuff and DVRs.
Yeah.
And no, you did not say AJ Styles. You talked about WWE people or people that was in WWE. Booker T.
Mick Foley.
How the hell you talk about Mick
Nash?
You should have been talking
about Steiner.
He should have been saying Ken Shamrock. People that was there in the beginning.
Felix Skipper.
Ron Killings.
Yeah, Ron Killings. Christopher Daniels. Yep. AJ Styles. Kazarian. I mean, these are cats that's been
there. Samoa Joe.
Well, no, Samoa Joe came.
No, he came in, what, 05?
He came in 2005.
And that counts.
Beat Christopher Daniels within an inch of his life.
See? But that's what I'm saying. It's them people. Samoa Joe was a big thing for him at one time.
Yeah, no,
I'm talking about just like AJ Styles. And you sitting there thinking the main people that you brought in. And I mean, he didn't even thank Kurt Angle. I mean, them getting Kurt Angle in 06 was big at that time because Kurt Angle was still with the WWE, a part of the ECW.
He was still in his prime.
And then that motherfucker sat there and lied to Vince, talking about he had problems. Next thing you know, 3 months later, he was on TNA taping. And that's why he wondered why the WWE didn't want to bring his ass back to give him the proper respect, because they still remember that shit. You pulled that punk shit on them.
This settles it all. AJ Styles was the biggest star to come out of TNA. I'm sorry. You know,
if you want to go for homegrown talent,
yeah,
then yes,
AJ Styles.
Yes, you have to.
You did not mention him,
and they didn't even do him right. And AJ Styles, he even got as big as he is because of himself. He betted on himself. Mm-hmm. He didn't sit there and take that piece of shit offer that you offered him. And he fucking bet on himself, went to Japan, started doing the Ring of Honor, and AJ Styles is even a bigger star. Where the WWE is looking at him like, hey, when his contract's up in December, we're going to go after his ass.
Mm-hmm. He might be in the Royal Rumble.
And that pretty much sums up the great episode of TNA Impact fucking Wrestling.
TNA sucks ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's starting to fall off. It's sad right now.
But they're gonna have Global Force to catch their back, right?
Yeah. I mean, don't worry.
Yeah.
That's my kitchen, bitch. The combination of them two jackasses. Yeah. So let's talk about some Ring of Honor on a brighter note. Let's see, Ring of Honor. You had the start out with the Kingdom going against some Ham and Eggers. Yeah. You know, Ham and Eggers gave him a little fight. Next thing you know, Kingdom wins. It's nice to see Maria Kanellis. I mean, you know, I appreciate that. And then they had the next match was a 6-way.
It was a six-man mayhem.
Yeah, 6-man, 6-way.
What's that cheeseburger dude?
Oh my God, that dude weighed like $105. Like
he needed cheeseburgers. Shit,
he needed a lot of cheeseburgers. He needs some ham hocks.
Yeah,
he needs some greens.
He needs some macaroni and cheese, some cornbread.
Yeah,
that's what they should have called him, cornbread.
So you had Moose cheeseburger,
Dalton Castle,
Bullet. There wasn't no
Billy Bob, Billy Bob, and then what's your name? The last real man.
Oh, Silas
Young.
Yeah, he was in that. I mean, he did his thing, and Moose. I kind of like that shit.
I like
Moose. With the music when he come out, and they be like everybody like Moose.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't think people can pronounce it. It wasn't that Quinn. He used to play in the pro ball. And I mean, you got to give him credit. For somebody that used to play professional football, the transition over to wrestling, he's taking to it like a fish out of fucking water, man. That dude, you give him some more years of seasoning. I mean, he's already halfway there right now. You give him some more years of seasoning, yeah, the WWE gonna be
knocking the door.
They're gonna be knocking at his damn door.
It was all about Dalton Castle doing that damn.
Oh yeah, and Dalton Castle with the boys.
Man,
so
Dalton Castle
that dude for his character.
Yeah, besides the character.
I mean, come on now, him fucking getting Moose for
that
fucking that what's that stall German suplex?
Yeah,
and he held him.
And Moose is what 6'5", about 320.
He held him and then dropped him.
Deadlift style.
I was like, holy shit, that dude is
Dalton Castle is fucking legit. Yeah,
he's legit. Yeah. I mean, shit. The character, the flamboyant character, got no problem with it. Hey, you gotta find a way to get over.
Get in, yeah. You gotta find your niche.
But him in the ring, it's money.
Yeah,
he's money, and I seen that the Moose and him. That was like the two highlights for me of that match.
Well, in a spoiler report.
The last real man.
In a spoiler report for your news and notes, I'm glad they didn't go that route with Brock Lesnar. Just put it that way.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Glad they didn't go that route. But then they had the main event.
Brokeback Mountain way.
God.
But nonetheless, then you get to the main event.
Yeah.
Where you got ACH versus Bobby Fish.
Man.
Damn good match.
Damn good quality matches. And this is the thing. Ring of Honor is only an hour. TNA is 2 hours. Lucha Underground is an hour. But if you look at what Lucha Underground did in their hour and what Ring of Honor did in their hour, they kicked TNA's ass by a long shot.
I can honestly say that ACH match versus Bobby Fish probably was the match of the night for that Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I probably would have gave it a close second to the Mac and Cage.
So, cause see, this is the problem. I'm looking at Lucha Underground, and I could take two of those. They had 3 matches. 2 of those matches, I'll take that trios match in the Mac and Cage, and then I'll take the 2 matches from ROH. I'll take that 6-man Mayhem in their main event, and take those 4 matches and put them up against any 4 matches that TNA had on their card, and they shit all of them. You know what I'm saying? And TNA had a 2-hour card, and I put I challenge any TNA fan that watches this show. You go find any 4 matches from this week's taping of TNA and put them up against those 4 matches I've seen, and you understand what the fuck I'm talking about. It's fucking garbage, man. It really is.
I don't know what's going on with TNA. And I feel bad because EC3, that kid's legit. And I mean, he's sitting there got to go through that trash, man.
Well, EC3 needs to stay off the steroids and when he got kicked out the WWE.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people on it, but
well, I know.
I get what you're saying.
He got caught.
You know
what I mean?
But to wrap up Ring of Honor part of the show, that match was legit. They did moves, and then you had Bobby Fish going over ACH.
Yeah.
And I mean, ACH for a short dude, little dude, he can go. He got moves. He got an array of moves.
Yeah.
And Bobby Fish, I mean, this the cool thing about Ring of Honor being on TV now. It's like you don't have to go look on YouTube and different wrestling little pages and sites. It's like now you get to see, they get to showcase what they got, and I mean, them two dudes are legit, and I mean, hats off to Ring of Honor for putting that match on. That was a highlight of the Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Because you had NXT doing their normal stuff. Not nothing stuck out. I mean, the women's match was cool. And I mean, then you get to the Lucha Underground. I mean, you had that with the Mac. I mean, that stood out. And I mean,
the trios match was pretty good.
I mean, with Angelico doing another Jesus.
Man, you see that spot? And that's the thing.
I forgot to say that during the Lucha Underground.
Yeah, but you brought it up, man. God, man, this dude, he ain't gonna be. Hey, you just better hope Lucha Underground can sign him up.
They need to call him Prince Puma, a.k.a. Ricochet. They need to be in NXT right now. Fucking now.
Well, he might drop the title. You never know.
I mean, because spoiler alert, he's going to drop the belt next week.
Yeah.
But with that being said, to wrap up that Ring of Honor part of the show, all in all for Ring of Honor, I got to say it was a good show.
Yeah, it was good.
I had no problem with it. Everything was legit, the 3 matches. I mean, no sign of the champ, but hey, you can't, I guess they got an hour, so they can't put the champ on every week. So let's get to the last part of the we going through the week of wrestling is this WWE Smackdown. What happened?
Well, I mean, you had the opening up, which I thought was cool. You had Seth Rollins come out there and talk about how he broke John Cena's nose, and then Cesaro came out there and told him straight up, hey, you broke his nose, but you lost. You know what I mean? So Rollins challenged Cesaro. They got in the ring. They were getting it done. Owens come out, and then the next thing you know it, Owens and Seth Rollins was jumping there and beating the shit out of Cesaro. So that match gets canceled, and then it gets pushed to the main event, which Cesaro has to find a partner against Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. And that match was pretty good because Dean Ambrose came out there to help have his back. And the match was good. It wasn't Seth Rollins versus Cena on Raw, but the match was good, and you can see where it's heading, where Cesaro and Owens is headed, man. That you talking about still the show match at SummerSlam. It's not the main event, but that may well still the show.
I mean, it might be a damn good.
That may well still the show. That match right there between KO and Cesaro very well might still the show. But SmackDown, SmackDown. It wasn't nothing really special happening on SmackDown.
Well, I mean, for wrestling fans out there, I mean, they're going to treat SmackDown like this until SmackDown switches over to USA Network. And I believe that's going to be in the beginning of the year, if I'm correct, where then they're going to put more emphasis. Lord knows, and this is my plea, bring back the gold belt. It needs to be 2 world champions. I'm sorry, this is when you sit here and see where they need 2 multiple champions. Because, I mean, it's times like this where you can have 2 multiple champions and you can have the show can go seamlessly. Where they need to separate them again. Go back to the draft. To me, all that worked. That was great. When they had the WWE draft and one go from SmackDown, one go to the Raw. I mean, hey. And then maybe this year you could put NXT in the shit.
They're going to be on the video game. It's the biggest roster ever.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you sit here and think about it. That would help the business. They need to start putting over people. People like Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Kevin Owens. You get everybody gets a shot again. Because I mean, if you go with this normal Raw shit, people ain't gonna get shot because John Cena and the normal people's gonna take up all the spots. I'm just saying, just an idea. Do that. Other than that, I guess that wraps up the SmackDown part of the shit. So we're gonna get to some news and notes, and then we're gonna get into the kitchen bitch, and then I just want to touch on Roddy Piper a little bit more to end the show. Try to end the show on a high note. So start out with some news and notes. In the beginning of the week, it was leaked. A lot of the Hogan situations be getting leaked out. I mean, the people who's leaking it out, probably the Gawker or whoever, they're smart because they getting Hulk Hogan's character assassinated to the public. Because now they were sitting there talking about when he's sitting there dropping the N-words and stuff. He might have been talking about Academy Award winner, Grammy Award winner Jamie Foxx in the same, for instance, because I guess the deal, he was supposed to be a part of it, where on the tape where he's sitting there talking about the N-word. So with that being said, you had that during this week that happened, And then, Hulk Hogan just constantly sitting there talking and talking and talking. And it's like, I'm like, Hulk Hogan, here's some free advice. You need to go somewhere, sit your ass down, cut off your Twitter, and shut the fuck up. You need to let some of this shit pass. If you want to get through this shit, you're going to have to let some of it pass. Mm-hmm. Where you can't sit here and keep bringing up stuff. Because that's going to just keep reminding people about what type of person you are. And I mean, you're not helping your case. So moving on from that, it's been talks of having Adam Rose, AKA, come back as Leo Kruger and join the Wyatt family. I'd rather have been Bo Dallas because aesthetically for the story, you realize that's Bray Wyatt's real brother. But I mean, I got no problem if you go back to the Leo Kruger character because Adam Rose shit is not working right now. So with that being said, he can come back, help him get over.
I think it'd be good if he came back as Leo Kruger because, Leo Kruger was a statistic, kind of like Wyatt family member type guy that you could put him in the Wyatt family and he might be able to shine. You know what I mean?
I mean, that could be legit. And then more news and notes, Brock Lesnar, which we already alluded to earlier in the show, will return tomorrow, Monday night on Raw. Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast, as we know, is going to be with Paige.
He better ask her the hard questions, man.
Because originally, I believe it was planned for Hulk Hogan to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
But, as you know, Hulk Hogan is no longer employed by the World Wrestling Entertainment. It couldn't be him. So, it's going to be Paige. And I would be surprised if this is anywhere close to interesting. To me, she's not an interesting person like that. She's not somebody that I want to learn about. I mean,
I know Total Divas.
I've seen some Total Divas. I mean, what you gonna talk about her ex-dude that dumped her?
Nah,
over the phone, or I mean, now if she get in there talking about her family history, because she is second generation
wrestler. She got a new dude now. She's very entertaining on Total Divas, and that's the reason why I'm sorry, and I gotta keep it 100. But that's the reason why certain people like Naomi is off the show because she wasn't interested in all. You know what I mean? They're off the show because they weren't bringing anything. Paige is pretty damn interesting on that show with Alicia Fox. The little thing that they have together because they're actually friends in real life. But the camaraderie that they have is
it helps because she is Alicia Fox.
Yeah,
they work good together.
They work good together. I mean, they're real good on that show. I like watching the show with them two on it. They're fucking entertaining. You don't never know what's finna go on between Paige and Alicia Fox. They're always doing something crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they do crazy shit together. They do crazy shit without each other. And when they do it without each other, they think of each other. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Those two together are pretty damn entertaining, man. You gotta watch that show. You know what I mean? They're pretty damn entertaining.
Okay.
But he better ask her fucking hard questions on that show. And why did you put Patrick in the fucking final three? You were wrong for that, you pill. Nah, I'm just gonna be quiet. Yeah.
So what else? We got the WWE. It's a talk that WWE is thinking about offering pay-per-views a la carte. So if you So if you sit here, don't have the WWE network where you pay $9.99 a month, you can order a pay-per-view for $4.99. If you have internet services, you can sit here, they talking about that shit, which I think that might be a sound business decision. For $5, you can sit there and order the WWE pay-per-view. Could be, I figure it might be more when it comes around to WrestleMania and stuff like that. But something like that.
Ones, yeah.
I
remember we used to pay like a couple of dollars and go watch it closed circuit and go watch it at the damn show.
Especially when HD got big. And everybody started transitioning their TVs to HD. The price, they jacked the price up $10 from regular standard definition. But I mean, if you sit there and think about it, it's a good idea. Spoiler alert, for you TNA and Global Wrestling fans. The next, I believe this episode coming up, that's when you start seeing the takeover, you could say, of Global Force invading TNA. So I mean, you can sit there and look at that.
The invasion.
I mean, eventually, Justin Gabriel is going to win the King of the Mountain Championship. And, eventually, another week after that, Bobby Roode's going to take it.
Wow, Jeff Jarrett's not putting it on himself?
No. I think he realized he's 48 years old, and he probably should stop.
Yeah.
I mean, with that being said, I guess I'm going to try to hold judgment. No, I'm not. Fuck that.
Fuck that shit.
I don't like it, you know. But that's gonna be I'm gonna save that for my kitchen bitch. So to get through this, Kevin Owens said in the interview he would love to put an end to Brock Lesnar. Now I guarantee you this: if they ever put Kevin Owens versus Brock Lesnar, shut up and take my fucking money. I would love to see that.
Man, for real.
I would love to see that. That it was gonna be an intense match, and he will push the beast to his fucking limit.
Yep.
You can goddamn guarantee it.
Man.
Let's see. Next thing, some Hulk Hogan news. Other than Hulk Hogan not only talking about African Americans, I don't think so. I think they just picked the house.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I was looking at it, I thought that was like Gene Simmons' house.
Yeah, that's
but nonetheless, Hulk Hogan went on they found some more tape where he went on the ramp. It was on the sex tape. Not only was talking about black people, he was talking about VH1 came to him with an idea about going back to his old house and homosexuals lived there, and then he started dropping the F words, and I ain't talking about fuck, the other F word, about the homosexuals and everything. And I'm like, damn, Hogan, I'm like, God, I see why, I said it before, I say it again. I know why he wanted that tape muffled so bad. He was not even worried about the sex part of it. It's like he shows that not only he's a damn bigot, he's a racist, that he don't like gays or lesbians. I mean, he seemed like he got a problem with everybody. And I'm like, damn, Hogan, man, if you just find new ways to send your own self to the shit house. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, Hulk. I just, you know,
be a man, Hulk.
He damn sure not one. I mean, you know, he just sitting there just finding new ways to fuck himself. Yeah. In other words, other news, John Cena, we mentioned it earlier, he had to have emergency surgery on his nose because to straighten up, and that might put the main event in SummerSlam in jeopardy. So, I mean, you know, first off, get well, Cena. You know, hey, because you sitting out there, you busting your ass. You know, but to get better, I don't want to see you in a title picture, but hey, I still want to see you wrestle. Ring of Honor news: Mr. ROH himself, Roderick Strong, re-signed with Ring of Honor. I mean, he's been a mainstay. I mean, he's been straight over the years where he went to TNA and stuff like that. But he re-signed. I mean, and you know, that's good. That's good for Ring of Honor. I mean, you know, in this day and era where you got the WWE poaching all your talent now, Lucha Underground can poach your talent. You got Global Force can poach some talent. You got TNA still trying to poach talent. It's good to see.
Who's gonna want to go there?
It's good to see somebody sit there and stay there, you know, and sit there like, okay, you know, I'm gonna take that Mr. Ring of Honor title to heart, and I'm gonna stay there, you know, and I'm not gonna go nowhere. You know,
that's pretty good.
The WWE continue to try to erase Hulk Hogan from their history. WWE Studios will be editing Hulk Hogan out of open scene of celebrity death pool film. I guess Hulk Hogan was supposed to be in one of their films. It was a Scooby-Doo film. You know, I guess he gave his voice or something like that. So they got to edit him out of that.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he just sat here, boy. He just find new ways. I mean, as we said earlier, you got Jeff Hardy came back to action this week on TNA Impact. You got Alicia Fox, who suffered concussion this past Monday on Raw in the tag match. Yeah, I believe so. Get well, Alicia Fox. You got WWE not using Sting next month for SummerSlam. This month now, in a new month. I think y'all need to revisit that because that SummerSlam is looking a little flimsy. So I'm thinking you need to call the man called Sting. I think you should put him in that. You trying to make that WrestleMania, you put him in there. You find a fucking way to get him in there. Let's see, other news. Hideo Itami finally get his driver's license after 27 attempts. Lord knows, I hope Finn Balor is being funny about the 27 attempts, but it probably was a lot.
No, Finn Balor has to go.
I think it probably was a lot. So, you know, with that being said, let's see. You got so many tapings with TNA they doing. You got Kurt Hawkins and Trevor Lee, both representing Global Force. They beat the Wolves and became the new TNA Tag Team Champions.
But see, here's the thing, though. You say Kurt Hawkins and who?
Trevor Lee.
They just beat the Wolves for the tag team titles.
You know they doing that invasion thing, so.
Okay, but Kurt Hopkins, he was just doing championship wrestling from Hollywood last week, and he was in a match in championship wrestling from Hollywood. Like, damn, man, these people just get around, man. And he didn't look like he was when he was in WWE. He looked out of shape. But, you know, he still put on a good match, but he looked out of shape. He was just on public access TV. Wow.
Okay, and you got the WWE getting ready to push the Stardust Arrow feud, because, I mean, you got even a picture I put up in WrestleHeads where Arrow's saying he's on his way to the WWE Universe, so they're about to start pushing that feud between him and Stardust. Which, I mean, he's an ultimate fan. You know, he's a big time fan. I mean, I give him credit for
wrestling. No, we don't need no all that.
You got Shawn Michaels replacing Hulk Hogan on the tour over in Amsterdam. Well, not Amsterdam. Over in Australia.
Maybe he's gonna dress like he did when he went at Hogan when they had that SummerSlam match.
Yeah,
that was hard. Hogan didn't like that too much.
Hogan didn't like a lot of fucking things. You know, Hulk Hogan is sitting there saying, you know, he trying to sue Gawker for leaking the story out for the whole N-word and everything. But I'm sorry, how can you sue somebody for leaking a story out if it's all true?
Yeah.
If you was on the tape, first off, fucking another man's wife. Secondly, talking about black people in such a way. Thirdly, talking about gays and lesbians in a certain way. But you're gonna get mad with the people that put the truth out? Hulk Hogan, you piece of shit. I mean, you just scraping for any fucking thing. It's a fucking joke. Let's see. Did you not know? I put it up in WrestleHeads. Kevin Owens has not won a match since June 16th. And then you see, and you get why I be saying why. Hey, you know, they're fucking him up. Think about it. What month we in now? This is the 2nd of August today?
Yeah.
June 16th.
But you gotta think about
July.
He had some Wrestle 20 matches though.
I'm sorry. They sitting there, they're you build them up and then you send them to the shit house.
He's wrestled in the Takeover. That's one. He's wrestled
all losses.
Cena, and he had a couple ones where he didn't finish the match where he just left.
All losses. So with that being said, you got Taz out there saying that Hogan's done.
Well, Taz has done it, so. Shit, Taz, take some advice, brother.
Well, I mean, but shit, Taz got a podcast, so.
Whoop-de-fucking do. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Excuse me. And other than that, let's see what else you got. Last thing we can sit here and say, Hogan dropped some racial slurs when he was sitting there, went to go visit his son. Some more, let's see, let's look at the transcripts. Some more they try to do it slickly, because you know when you go to, anybody that had anybody in jail,
yeah,
everything's being recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So they can easily get the transcripts and anything like that. And he was sitting there talking to his son, and then, you know, they were sitting there talking, trying to slip it off, dropping the N-word, but not saying it exactly. So they got him on that. And I mean, that's why I say, you think about it, that's 4 things this week. I forgot that part too.
Hogan just won't shut up.
And I mean, to sum it up, you know, to sum up the week, Layla retired from the WWE, and I mean, I commend her from starting out from being a Miami Heat cheerleader with a ring. You know, she got a ring.
Yeah, from when they won it back.
Yeah, when they won it back in 06. And from her doing that and transitioning from winning the Diva Search and transitioning to wrestling, becoming a women's champion, becoming a Divas champion. I mean, she had a great 10-year run with the WWE. She was one of the longest tenured Divas, and she should be commended for her run. So, I mean, I salute you. And I mean, her magazine layouts, I mean, you know, for her being an English chick, I got a thing for accents. But, I mean, for her being that, she had that exotic look. Yeah. She was just a package, man. And I mean, and she getting engaged to Ricky Ortiz. So I guess she's ready to live in the next phase of her life.
She was a horrible wrestler, though. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I'll say she was horrible. That's just my opinion.
She was not.
That's my opinion. She was
not
horrible.
But
she came in that same. She came in that draft status that you look good and they could try to make you man. That's why, and this just leads into what we were saying when we were watching something a little earlier. Back when Layla, when it was coming into the WWE, TNA had the best women's wrestlers in the world, and I'll give TNA that. Why? Because they had women wrestlers that mostly can get it done in a ring. WWE had a bunch of models running around like they was wrestlers.
But I mean,
to me, Layla sucked, and she was awful. That's just me.
See what kills your little argument.
I like Michelle McCool.
I was going to say, Michelle McCool was a damn teacher.
Yeah, but Michelle
and
McCool,
she trained.
It doesn't matter.
She was getting personal lessons from Undertaker.
Yeah, but it doesn't. For me,
she transitioned over into a great women's wrestler.
But see, that's like one out of few. You know what I'm saying? Like Michelle McCool was
Eve Torres.
Eve sucked too. No. To me, Eve sucked too. That's just my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion.
There's a lot of them.
Eve sucked. Eve a lot of success because they look good, not because they were good wrestlers. That's the thing. They looked good, so they had a lot of success. But they sucked, man. Michelle McCool was the one that actually was a teacher that turned into a decent wrestler. And then you had Beth Phoenix still at that time. She was getting down. She was good. Natalia and all them. But, even Gail Kim, you had them at the time. They was good. But you go over to TNA, they had a roster of women that can actually wrestle. They were ugly as shit, but they can actually wrestle.
But see, you look at Gail Kim, when she had a chance to come back, she looked like shit.
I didn't think she looked like shit. You can't look like shit.
When she came back the second time in WWE,
you can't look like shit. You can't look like shit.
Some people, you gotta realize, some people can't handle the bright lights.
Some people can't. Some people can't handle a minute match or 2-minute matches. Some people don't like that shit. Why should? And I agree with Gail Kim. Why should I put my all in a match that you're only gonna give me a minute or 2 minutes for? You know what I'm saying? You're not even gonna give me what she was deserved because she is at that time she was one of the best. She was one of the best women wrestlers in the world. Period. You know what I mean? And then they had her in against. And then they had her in against lesser competitions like Layla and Eve Torres and all them. Man, I wouldn't put in my all too because half those broads suck. Man, Gail Kim is still one of the best women wrestlers ever. You know what I mean? Layla couldn't wipe Gail Kim's jock. Neither could Eve Torres. Neither could mostly anybody that the WWE brought in that was models. Gail Kim got it done. Whether you liked her or not. You know what I mean? Whether you liked her or not, Gail Kim got it done. Gail Kim was one of the best that did it women-wise. You know what I mean? Eve Torres and Layla don't even compete. You know what I mean? They were just people that look good. I mean, that's just to me.
You look at Gail Kim like that, and I'll just look at her when she came to the big time. She went to the shit house. She was just trash.
When she was the big time, remember she started off in the WWE.
And
she was big time.
And they gave her the women's championship.
And she was good.
And she didn't get it done.
And then she went over to TNA and basically shined because they had a better women's division. And that's being honest, man. I mean, you can call it trash if you want. They had a better. No, it wasn't. See, it was a small pie. Well, no, you can't use that for women because TNA was the big pond for women.
I'm talking about the company.
Oh, the company. Yeah, I'll give you the company. But the women wrestling division was the big pond. They had the best.
They had a good division for like a year or two.
It was about 3 years. They had the best women's division. They
start cutting down the women's division.
They had the
before
best.
Before even 3 years. They had like workers like Roxy Laveau and motherfuckers over there. They got rid of them.
They had the best women's division for, in my mind, for at least 2 to 3 years.
And you know what I mean? They said WWE couldn't broadcast that shit.
They couldn't
compete. They started getting rid of them.
They couldn't compete because they didn't have nobody.
Look at the.
They had Beth Phoenix and Natalia. That was it. And Michelle McCool. That was it.
You look at their division now.
It's awful now.
They got what? Brooke. I mean, nice body.
She's all right. Oh hell yeah, the ass is banging. But
I'm like, she's okay in the ring. And I mean, you got Awesome Kong who's been back, and they still not trying to put the title on her. You didn't put the title on Drew McIntyre's ex-wife. You just sat there, and Gail Kim got it back again. I'm like, why would you give it to Gail Kim? She's not deserving of it because Gail Kim ain't even working like that no more.
Well, they gave it to Gail. They gave it to Gail Kim.
She's going to get it coming up.
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, I don't know why they gave it back to Gail Kim, but at the same time, they're trying to push those young look good girls. You know what I mean? And that just didn't work. You know what I mean? They tried to do with the WWE.
They should have stuck to what they know.
Yeah, and they should have
know
wrestling.
X Division. They got away from that. and in the women's division.
Yep, and
they got away from that.
And
that's why TNA's in the state they in, not only from their shitty literature.
Yeah, and they basically, in my mind, they tried to do what the WWE was doing with the whole model lookalikes and getting, because they looked off out of the ring. The the women wrestlers were doing better out of the ring because they looked better. That was generating more money for the company because they were getting all these opportunities because they looked good. And TNA and them on the same time, they had ODB and all that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they had Victoria and all that, man. They had a women's division for that ass.
And they sat there, they squandered it.
Yeah, they sure did. But it was a lot better at that time than with the WWE. And Layla falls in that category at the WWE at that time. That shit was barbaric. But we agree to disagree.
Now, with that being said, we get into one of the favorite parts of the show, the KBs, a.k.a. Kitchen Bitch. So, of course, as I'm the fucking master of the kitchen bitch and the inventor of it, I'll go last. So, you can go ahead and knock your kitchen bitch out.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and knock it out. Jeff Jarrett, I'm not taking away from yours. I'm going to let you have that all to yourself. I know you. Jeff Jarrett, my kitchen bitch is you because your Hall of Fame speech was a piece of shit. Why I say your Hall of Fame speech was a piece of shit, it wasn't just because you thanked Karen Jarrett and Mike Tenay, you thanked Scott Steiner and Booker T and Kevin Nash and the Dudleys, but you left out AJ Styles. And you thank Dixie, who ran your company into the ground, took it to the shit house, and you give that in a Hall of Fame speech? A Hall of Fame speech should consist on people that uplifted your company, not drove your company down to the shit house, man. And that's exactly what Carter did. And then you leave out AJ Styles. A fan had to yell, AJ Styles. Oh, yeah. I said AJ. No, you didn't. No, you did not. And that was a piece of shit move because AJ carried your company when your company needed to be carried. And you leave him out like that just because he didn't want to come back for no punk-ass Hall of Fame, TNA Hall of Fame that don't mean shit? That don't mean shit. Because when you out of business in the next 2, 3, 4, 6 months, that Hall of Fame, man, we was just discussing the WWE Hall of Fame ring goes for $20,000 on the black market. TNA's Hall of Fame ring maybe $200/$20 if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? If you're lucky, you may get $20 for it because nobody gives a shit about it. It's a piece of shit Hall of Fame that has no meaningful value to it because you put people in. I mean, you put Sting in, yeah, but he's finna go into the WWE Hall of Fame. Whose ring you think he's gonna covet more? You know what I mean? Team 3D, yeah, eventually they're gonna go into the WWE Hall of Fame. They're gonna forget all about that. You put in Jeff Jarrett, who will probably never get into the WWE Hall of Fame, so yeah, he needed to get in because he founded your company. But besides that, who the fuck do y'all have? Who's next to go in? Abyss? You know what I mean? Who's next after that? James Storm? Who's next after that? Iron Mike Tenay? Don West? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Who really cares about that shit? You know, honestly, I believe Shark Boy is their next entry. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of their longest tending. Yeah. You know, he's one of their longest tending wrestlers besides Abyss monkey ass, who couldn't fucking...
There you go. Abyss.
Oh, fuck no. That motherfucker needs to put the teeth back in his mouth and become the lawyer again. You're not the monster anymore.
Fucking Jackie Parks.
Yeah, Jason Parks my ass. That was Abyss with his teeth out. Shit. Got me fucked. Or old boy from America Most Wanted gonna come back. They gonna put him in.
No, fucking what is it?
Whatever his name is.
Ray Walker.
Ray Walker. You should have put in Elix Skipper. You should have put in Christopher Daniels. These are guys that you left out. But you put in, I'm sorry, you put in Team 3D, but you don't put in Christopher Daniels, who one of the guys that Catalyst who made your X Division. I'm sorry. TNA boo-hoo on you. Jeff Jarrett, you piece of shit. Your Hall of Fame speech was crap. Dixie Carter, you bombastic bitch. You know what I mean? And Karen Jarrett, you up there taking stroke lessons from Jarrett while your ex-husband is sitting on stage having to clap for you, and he don't want to be out there. You know what I mean? Y'all was good. Y'all, man, for real. Man, they was going over and getting a good stroke. Why Kurt Angle was hyped up off the pills. You know what I mean? He trying to kick a pill addiction and you getting stroked in the backyard. The fuck is going on here? That whole shit's full of shit. Sorry, and I'm done with it. Shit. Fuck. Fuck, man.
Strokes in the backyard.
Yeah, shit. Getting good old strokes in the shed while he's trying to kick a pill addiction.
Jared's giving
it's
it
fucked up.
Well.
For real.
Okay.
Before you go,
go ahead.
Excuse me, ladies. I didn't mean to use the B word. I'm sorry if you're watching the show, but man, shit, if the shoe fits for Karen Jarrett, wear it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say I got a 3-part kitchen bitch, then. This is my first triple threat kitchen bitch. And I'm trying to wrap them up real quick. 1, my first kitchen bitch where I thought about since I was hearing this shit. Global Force Wrestling and TNA Impact Wrestling. Right? I get it. Jared's trying to fucking use Global Force to fucking hype up, or excuse me, use Global Force to help out TNA or vice versa. To me, Jeff Jarrett, you dumb son of a bitch. You supposed to be trying to build this Global Force brand, this company into something. And you sitting here going to TNA. First off, it shouldn't be a fucking feud between Global Force and TNA so fucking early. First, you need to get you a fucking TV deal. First. Then, you wait some months after you establish champions, storylines, and stuff like that. I'm saying like November, December, maybe January of 2016. Then you start a feud if TNA's still around, Lord willing. Then you start a feud. Not so fucking early where you got your wrestlers going over here and they going over there. I think that shit's stupid, and you killing the company before you even get it fucking started. So that's as much time as I'm gonna give to fucking Jared, because I think we gave a lot of this fucking show to that bitch. 2, Hulk Hogan. You dumb rat bastard. You sit here, we done seen in a span of 1 fucking week, you done sat here and talked about African Americans, you done sat here and talked about gay and lesbians, you done sat here and showed how not to be a father to your son. You sit here, you go through so much stuff. I mean, you just find different ways to sit here and fucking fuck up something. I mean, Hogan, my dude, we all grew up looking at you. Some kids were sitting here going to vitamins and all this shit. Doing all that shit. And and people forget, you did a porn tape with another man's wife. 4, you sit here and think about it, and I seen on his Facebook page and the stuff, he's been trying to he was in Chicago, the second city, one of the greatest cities in the United States of America. He was in there trying to take pictures at the Comic-Con or wherever the con they had going with black people. I just seen like an abundance of pictures with black people. I'm like, it's a little late, Hope, for 1. 2, I'm like, you got a picture with Mike Tyson. Okay, Mike Tyson's crazy, so I can't take nothing into account of that. With that being said, it's like you doing too much too late. You're trying to show people like, oh yeah, I like black people. Look, hey, look, my friends are black. No, Hulk, you did what you did. Take it on the chin. Be a fucking man. Now, if you would have came out with some interviews and say, man, I made mistakes. America's a forgiving country. If you come out here, be a fucking man. Not no fucking release. You sit here and say, man, I made mistakes. Man, I apologize. I said inappropriate stuff. I did inappropriate things. I think people can start getting past this. But it's like every week, it's something else coming out. I said, man, you had all these feelings that you don't need to be around people. If you hate people of color, African Americans or Latinos or whatever. I went back and I looked at a Royal Rumble and I just the promo. I think it was for WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And the promo where he was talking about Bret Hart and it was Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. Yeah. He's like, it don't matter. He said, hey, I take out Hart. The next thing you know, yeah, and that Jap, excuse me for saying that, he said that. And I'm like, damn, I didn't realize he said something racist right back then. But, as being a kid, you don't think about shit like that. Nah, but with that being said, I'm like, man, you got that deep in your heart, Hulk. I'm like, if you hate people of color like that, you don't need to be around us. Don't take our money. So, and that ends the Hulk Hogan part. And then a last minute entry to the kitchen bitch. UFC President Dana White.
Oh, you piece
This son of a bitch last night started talking. He started having a war of the words with WWE champion Seth Rollins on Twitter, calling wrestling, yeah, that fake shit, da da da. But last time I checked, your highest grossing fucking pay-per-view of all fucking time was led by a wrestler, by former WWE and UFC champion, heavyweight champion, Brock Lesnar. You sat here, you begged, you got on your knees, you just brought in the best in the fucking world, CM Punk, to your company. What was he? He was a wrestler. You sit here, you try to piggyback off of fucking wrestling. You got your top female star. Scratch that. One of your top stars.
Period.
In the UFC. A die-hard fucking wrestling fan.
Yep.
Rowdy. Ronda Rousey. Last night dedicated her match to the late great Hall of Famer Roddy Piper. Trust and believe, you can bet your ass when her contract's up, I bet you she'll be signing with the WWE.
She's gone.
I guarantee you that.
Believe that.
Wrestling and MMA has intertwined for years. Ken Shamrock, one of your Hall of Famers, probably gonna be in the WWE Hall of Fame one day too.
Yeah.
Wrestler. Dan the Beast fucking Severin. Wrestler. Don Fry.
Right.
Wrestler. Some of the best UFC fighters have been wrestlers. You need to face facts, Jack. Wrestling and MMA is connected. So, before you start running your mouth on Twitter or something, sit back and shut the fuck up and realize before you say it, because now you got a whole legion of pissed off wrestling fans.
Because he can talk, I don't mean to cut you off, but he talks all that shit. He ain't in the ring with nobody.
That's what Seth Rollins said. He said, hey, yeah, he give Dana a break. All the millions of matches Dana White had, he knows what he's talking about.
He ain't had not a match. He was Chuck Liddell's fucking manager. Let's be honest. That knew how to grease the right palms and kiss the right asses to get himself from being the president of the UFC. And that's a fact. Go look that up. You know what I mean? No, for real though.
Oh no, I was seeing the White Sox score. Getting their ass kicked by the Yankees.
Yeah, that's a second. Didn't they score 13 runs on y'all?
We kicked their ass last night.
I saw y'all beat them last night, but they scored 13 runs on y'all on Friday.
Fucking Mark Chichera hit another fucking home run, that bastard. But anyway, we ain't talking about baseball. But look, to wrap my kitchen bitch up, Dana White, you fucking baldy locks looking motherfucker. And I'm balding too.
Me too.
The baldies! Shut your fucking mouth and know your role. To wrap up WrestleHeads today, I mean, we got a long show. I'm seeing it's over an hour 20 minutes. I hope everybody watch it. Yes, and I mean, you know, at the end of the day, just to touch on Piper, you know, Hot Rod was a once in a lifetime character. Mm-hmm. I mean, him and the Dreamer. You think about two of the best in this business, two of the best talkers in this business is gone. In a span of a month and a half. And I mean, it's sad. You know, I sit back and I see decent, good people like Rhodes and Roddy Piper gone. And then you got pieces of shit like Hulk Hogan still breathing. And I mean, that's like my thing I always say, evil always going to live forever. And you know, good people die young. And it's sad. And I mean, you know, I ain't going to dedicate this episode to Roddy Piper because, I mean, you know, I don't have to say that because pretty much the whole episode, we didn't talk about Roddy Piper. And I mean, you sit here and think about it, Roddy Piper was a stand-up individual, you know, and it's sad that he's gone. And, you know, and I just think about hearing the news, and I'm like, it hit me. I'm like, damn. It hit me like when I heard The Dream die. And I'm like, man, I sit here and it angered me because I sit there and say like, man, good people like Roddy Piper gone and pieces of shit like Hulk Hogan still breathing.
That's how it is.
And that's sad. And I mean, the wrap up this long show we had, you know, Chuck, get well. You know, I hope you're feeling better so you can be back here talking shit so I can take some more jabs at the Undertaker bum ass. Now I call him a bum.
He's a bum.
You know, and shit, just everybody tune in next week, shit.
Long show, but a quality show. Believe that.
Try to bring some quality, some substance. Try to.
Just had a lot to talk about. We have Piper.
You can get long-winded about that, and I mean,
certain things, but we hit it on the nail. I thought it was a good show. We'll tune in next week, folks. And I'm telling you, folks, tune in to Ultimate Lucha on Wednesday. If you don't tune in to no wrestling show of this week, tune in to Ultimate Lucha. Give Lucha Underground some love. This is their season finale. Tune in to Ultimate Lucha. You will not be disappointed.
Hopefully they'll be back for season 2. They're supposed to be.
They should be back. El Rey, they were my kitchen bitch about a month ago. Get your shit together. Bring back Lucha Underground. Season 2 should be coming, but give them some love because they have some great wrestling over there. And if we looking at people watching TNA, watch Lucha Underground. Give them some love for their Ultimate Lucha. We're out.
R.I.P. Roddy. Oh yeah, and that was a good thing. Fucking last night when Ronda Rousey knocked that broad out on her ass. She dedicated the shit to Roddy Piper.
Yep, that's what it's supposed to be. Oh, let me get out of here.
Good job.